Hi, everyone. Today I'm going to be presenting on the Campbell's company, which, if you don't know, is a leading American food manufacturer with a broad product portfolio, including soups, broths, baked goods, beverages. Some of its most recognized brands are Campbell's Soup, Pepperidge Farm, and Goldfish. And I chose the Campbell Company because I wanted to see how a commodity based company could integrate ESG for bottom line benefits, especially in today's dynamic regulatory environment where making any increase in the price of your products could drive revenue away almost immediately. ESG initiatives that I chose, Campbell has a really broad ESG agenda that ranges from reducing scope 3 emissions to improving packaging sustainability. But for this analysis, I focused on two initiatives, which were decarbonization and sustainable sourcing in agriculture. Decarbonization is a priority for Campbell's with a science based target to cut scope 1 and 2 greenhouse gas emissions by 50% by 2030, which is pretty ambitious. And then for sustainable sourcing, Campbell is investing in regenerative agriculture pilots and already sourced 50% of their key crops from suppliers engaged in sustainable practices, but wanted to continue to do that and upkeep that, especially, like I said, with shifting regulatory environments. And I wanted to explore how these specific initiatives could impact the company's financial performance, especially as regulations shift and, most importantly, consumer expectations evolve. So, how did ESG initiatives affect Campbell's bottom line? Based on my operating and DCF model, investing in ESG, specifically decarbonization and sustainable agriculture, actually had a significant financial upside for Campbell's. For revenue growth in the ESG scenario, there was a projected net revenue growth from 9 billion in 2024 to 16 billion by 2029, which was a 75% increase. Meanwhile, the base case only grew to 12 billion, which was a 27.6% increase. For net income gains, net income in the ESG scenario rise from 567 million to 4 billion in 2029. The base case only reached for 3 billion, meaning ESG could add nearly 1 billion in net income by 2029. This was best case scenario ESG focused, and it's a little bit ambitious, but the differences were pretty stark. And most importantly, there was an increased enterprise value from 24.4 billion under the status quo to 39.8 billion after implementing these initiatives, demonstrating the positive impact of an ESG related strategy to the company's overall value. Personal takeaway, I think the most valuable lesson I've taken from this class is that I can tackle challenging subjects and succeed. This course really pushed me out of my comfort zone, but now I feel pretty confident reading and analyzing financial statements in a real world context. I've even been able to assess a company's financial health when interviewing for jobs, or when being offered a job. So that was pretty important. And most importantly, we know that ESG can sometimes be used as a buzzword by companies that don't have the best intention, but it can deliver real bottom line benefits when integrated really thoughtfully into strategy. And I now understand how to build and stress test financial models. And I feel pretty equipped to apply scenario analysis in Excel if I ever need to in my career. And I could not have said that at the beginning of this class or halfway through this class. So, feeling pretty confident. Thank you.